Hello and welcome to the Inner Sanctum. This is a much requested video over the last few years. I've posted pictures on Instagram of this votive lit up that I made myself with the Black Madonna Vigiano. And today I'm going to demonstrate how I make my votives. So you can make your own. So I'll start by illustrating that you see the votive. This is, I print this off. I print it off my, I find the image on the internet, or I scan an image I already have. Like in this case, these are my maternal grandparents. And I thought it would be a nice idea that since I was going to make a votive for them, to share it with you in a video, share the process. This is just scanned, and what I do is I copy it. It's a little janky and a little old school what I do. So I will right click copy the image that I saved to my hard drive and paste it onto a Word document to get a little bit of this low res thing happening. And the low res thing happening, and I'm going to use one of my favorite medical devices. You see, when you place the candle on the inside, the light shines through pretty well, right? And I think I just tried different things, and I find the copying and pasting the image onto a Word document and then printing up that Word document gives that effect. Now, I haven't, it's a long time I haven't just printed straight from a JPEG, but this is what I do, and it works for me, especially because then I can easily resize with the mouse, the image that I want to print. I could see on a Word document, for me, it places it, it's a spatial thing where I could look at it and I say, oh, yeah, I need it to be this big, and I can eyeball it pretty quick and boom, print it up, and it's perfect for the vessel that I'm using. This is one of those, I bought this like this from the Catholic gift store in my neighborhood years and years and years ago. And I like to have the Miraculous on this side and the Black Madonna on this side. Now, this is like magazine paper that it came with, and if you see, it also shines through pretty decently. Let me see if I kill the lights a bit, if you could see that better. So, yeah. But I do love darker images with, and look how the gold pops, right? So, anyway. So, this is one, of course, already made. This is the stuff that I need. Or you'll need a scissor to cut out your picture. So you'll need a printer to print out your picture. So this was a picture of my maternal grandparents. And I resized, I copied from right click, copy the JPEG, paste it onto a Word document, and then just use the mouse to resize it. And I think I got it perfectly for the size of my jar. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be, it's pretty close. Well, we'll see. I need scissors, glue stick, my God. I go through, not just me, but in my house, my daughter and I, we go through glue stick like it's water. I use it for everything. My grimoire is full of glue stick. Glue stick is my favorite. It's easy to control. It dries. It doesn't dry lumpy on the backside or anything like that. I wouldn't use, for this kind of thing, I use this here. I wouldn't use something that has print on the back of it because it'll show through. So if you have like a magazine, if you have a picture from a magazine that you really like, and there's print on the back side of it, then just scan the photo. Just scan what you want, and then you print it up and it's blank on the inside. Okay. Now, what do I do with this? I sometimes, with this kind, if I have the inserts, I'll put an insert. If I don't have the inserts that go with these, dollar store 7-day candles in the glass fit in here perfectly. You just have to be careful. You have to like level it because it's a little curved on the inside and the bottom. Most jars have a bit of a curve. Like you'll see that when you drop, yeah, see when you drop a tea light, you got to play around with it a little bit to get it to stay where you want it to stay. Once it's lit and you're not moving it, it's fine, right? But, you know, that's that. Alcohol swabs. As you could see, this is a jar I've used before for a votive. So, and now I'm reusing it for this purpose. So I'll just, you know, try to get, soot comes off really well with alcohol swab. Obviously, I guess, or even like if you have rubbing alcohol, you could use a paper towel, you could use a cotton pad or whatever. I'm a nurse, guys. I have these, I actually buy these, you know what I mean? It's like back in the old days, they used to just come home with me accidentally in my pockets. But since I don't work in that kind of environment anymore, I buy these and I use them for a lot of stuff. And I use them a lot for crafting. And there we go. All right. It's clean. And let it air out because alcohol is flammable. All right. So what I like about this, one, I can make whatever I want, right? I'm just going to talk while I do. I can make anything I want into a votive. It's economical. So, okay, of course it's economical, provided, of course, you're not going out to buy a printer specifically for this purpose. So it's economical. Sorry, I have to pay attention that I don't give my grandparents a haircut, like a bad haircut with my scissor. What was I saying? Oh my God, yeah. It's economical. It's accessible. There's no limits, right? It's like you don't have to say, "Oh, I hope, I hope I find the votive that I want," because no, you just make the votive that you want. That's why when I see pre-made ones now and they're charging $10, $20, $30, it's like, are you out of your fucking mind? But I get it. Not everybody wants to do what I'm doing here. You know what I mean? So no shade. But look, I want a votive with my grandparents on it. And I should point out, these are my maternal grandparents. You'll see that they're beautiful people. They died really young. They died during World War II. In Yugoslavia, part that is now Croatia, and very political people, and yeah. So I never met them because they died so young. Let me see if I could bring this down a little bit because I don't know. I don't think you don't need to see so much expanse of desk. So this is a glass that has embossing, Dominion gem. This is like a vintage glass. I always look for vintage glasses, vintage jars at thrift stores or whatever. This is one that was already in the house here, so that we had. And see, it just, because I've done this a lot, it's perfect. Now, if you cut yours and it's not perfect, you can trim the photo. You can do whatever you need to do to get it to be perfect. So now I'm going to glue it on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to, because this has a bit of what looks like a seam here. And not on this side. Well, yeah, no, also on this side. And I don't want to put the picture on top of the embossing because it's not going to stick. So I find the smoothest part of the glass of the jar is at the back of the jar, or would be considered the back of the jar. And I make sure that my picture is perfectly sized for what I want. All right. It's not rocket surgery, my friends, but you know, I like to share. I know people do different things. I've seen where people will, I prefer printer paper because it's thin and it adheres, adheres, sticks to the glass really seamlessly, really well. And I do like the matte finish of the printer paper, especially the way for me it's important how the light shines through the jar, and shines through the photo. So that's pretty much the center right there. And that's, you can always, before you press it down, you can adjust your photo, and voila, people. Voila. So see, because of the curvature of the jar, I have some wrinkling there. No matter. Better the wrinkling. I could have resized the photo, but I kind of liked the coverage I was getting from this. So you can use some, okay. So let me just, so you know, I see I have some lifting here. That means I didn't get the glue properly. I just peel it back as far as it wants to peel back. And yeah. And then I lay it down nice and smooth. I check to see that one. Oh, here we have a corner lifting. Okay, see this corner that lifted? Yeah, I'm not inventing hot water, people, or I'm not discovering hot water. What I'm showing you here is pretty straightforward. But you know what? I appreciate straightforward things, and I thought it would be nice to share. Okay, here we go. So on the side of my grandfather here, it's lifting. So I'm going to lift it further. It's very, printer paper, glue stick, it's so forgiving. I'm often asked, doesn't the heat from the flame make the glue, like does it make it unstick and lift? No, not at all. If anything, like this, the Black Madonna, I've had it for a very long time. I think it's a couple of years. I use it a lot. And again, if I were to notice any lifting of the paper, I would just give it a little something. So here, just press it down. It's nice and it's pleated at the top because it's a rounded jar. And then I do the same thing in my grimoire when I glue stuff down. I always go over with the glue stick cap like this to press down what I glued. Oh my God, am I making the whole thing is shaking it up. Okay. There you go. And then here, some of the pleats. The pleats are inevitable if you're gluing a flat photo, a flat piece of paper onto a curved jar. The pleats are inevitable. So suppose there's like the space here that I don't like, right? Suppose that bothered me. I could literally just go in with some glue on a toothpick, tuck it in here, and then press it down. But I think it's fine. It serves my purpose. I did mess up my grandmother's face a little bit here, I think, because it's just, you know, it's just ink on paper, right? And then because I'm not going to light a candle in there because I don't know how, because I would have to move my camera and then you would see the mingus that is my desk, the rest of my desk. I will demonstrate with, see, this is what it would look beautiful. So the candle light, so I would use a tea light in here and I would just drop the tea light in there and then light it with one of these guys. Can you see it? There we go. And the candle light, well, this is cold light because this is a medical tool, medical instrument that I use. But you see how, what I wanted to demonstrate is how beautifully light shines through printer paper. I leave it matte. So I'm often asked if I do some Mod Podge. I don't like using Mod Podge as the glue behind it because Mod Podge could be a pain in the ass. Mod Podge is wet. It takes too long to dry. This is already dry and ready for me to use it. It's ready for me to drop the tea light in and turn it on. And I don't coat the outside with Mod Podge because the matte paper just gives it a more realistic, it makes it more three-dimensional. I don't know, but I've tried in the past to do a coating of Mod Podge and nothing prevents you from trying it out and see how you feel about it. I found first when you do a coating of Mod Podge on printer paper, it bubbles it up and like it's until it dries down, it's bubbled up. It looks like you messed it up until it dries down and then it lays back down the paper, like it bubbles up while it's wet from the Mod Podge. And I prefer the matte paper effect with the light shining through. Let me see. Oh my God, without making this terrible. Okay, there you go. So that gives you an idea of what this is going to look like. My God, can you imagine what we do here? Oh my God. So yeah, look what I did. So we're gonna take some alcohol swab and remove the soot. See? Well, I get to demonstrate how well it removes soot. Yeah, I don't own shares in alcohol swabs, folks. It's just something I've used my whole life, professionally and personally. I'm a big fan. I use it. Oh my God. You can erase Sharpie. So if you draw with Sharpie on something, not metallic Sharpie, those bastards are really tricky and unpredictable. But if you write with black Sharpie on a glossy card or something like that and then change your mind, you can easily erase it with alcohol swab. All right, so look at this. I'm doing a freaking infomercial for alcohol swabs. That's it, folks. That's how I make votive candles. And remember I mentioned at the start that I've reused this jar a few times. I don't know why I keep calling it glass. Sometimes it's like, anyways, sometimes I sound like English is not my first language. Which it is, sorry. Well, English and Italian at the same time. Okay, basta. Look, let me stay on track. I had mentioned that this is not the first, like I'm reusing this jar for this. And the beauty of glue stick and paper is if I change my mind and I want to do something else, use this jar for a different kind of votive, literally all you do is stick this jar in water, and the glue is water soluble, paper dissolves in water, and you could start all over. So if you mess up, suppose you make it and you say, oh, I don't like it, or you put or it's on crooked, or I changed my mind, I don't like the picture I selected, or whatever. No harm, no foul. Too easy to just stick the jar in water, and plain water dissolves the water-soluble glue and dissolves the printer paper, and you can dry it up and start all over again. All right, that's it for me. This was Plastic Arts with Grace. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.